Hello everyone, my name is Jaybird and welcome back to Wander No More. Let's just jump back into it.
Araki, put that down. You're just going to hurt yourself.
You're so... Ugh.
That's a two-person job, even for adults.
Calm yourself.
Yes, sir, Koichiro-sama.
Oh my god, you sound constipated.
Azai, help your brother to keep the frame in place. I want that door fixed before any more bugs make it inside.
Oh my god, you're so stern.
Understood, Koichiro-sama.
Oh my god. Watching on with pride and anxiety alike, I instructed my two young pupils as they fixed the front door of their new home. Arakai, and Azai both made a lot of mistakes, but they listened to me intently and continued to improve every day.
Like this, Koichiro-sama?
Oh my god, you sound so... ugh. Like your balls need a drop.
Yes, just like that. Be mindful that you don't pierce the sheets. One little hole is all it takes for bugs to get in.
Oh my. Making do with what we had available, my pupils and I removed the bulk of the house's old front door, leaving only the frame. We then replaced the charred wood with sheets, making for a lightweight door, only secure enough to keep out insects and other pests. I guess this will have to do, at least for the time being. I would have rationed the wood more carefully if I'd known we'd be taking in another family so soon, but if I had that kind of foresight, I wouldn't be here to begin with. All I can do now is schedule another lumber gathering trip into the forest.
How does this look, Koichiro-sama?
Ah, very good, Azai.
Azai.
That'll do for now. You two should go tell your parents the good news, then report back to me after lunch.
It sounds like he's trying to sound old.
Yes, sir!
Yes, sir! Arakai and Azai bowed and ran inside to inform their parents. And that would be my cue to check on my own family. Quote-unquote family. By the time I returned home, Chiyo was already waiting for me. She sat in front of the living room table, exercising great restraint as she fought her desire to start eating without me.
There you are, Ko.
You can eat without me, you know.
I was beginning to think you were going to work through lunch.
Me? Miss Lunch? Not a chance.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't risk invoking your anger again by not eating.
He said invoking really weird. He said it sounded like he said invoking, like with an L, like invoking. It's invoking. Voking. Come on. I just don't like this character's voice, honestly.
Glad to hear it.
Can I turn the voices off? Can I Oh, well I can't, really. I can lower the voices, but that means they're still there. Whatever. I took my place on the other side of the table, directly opposite Chiyo.
So, how are the repairs on the Kihei family home going? Are the boys doing well?
They're enthusiastic enough, but it'll be a while before they're ready to take over for me. Still, it is nice to have some extra hands.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, this took me a while to nitpick, but now that I finally realize it... why do we need his fucking face in the corner if we already have his face on screen? Why do we need that? I mean, sure, we'll need that when his face is on screen, but why do we need that when his face is already on screen? What? Boy! Make your fucking game correctly! Your game is shit! Sorry, I hit my microphone, but your game is shit! This game is shit! I'm sorry. Sorry.
I know what you mean. Kana-chan has been a big help when collecting food and water from the forest.
You two really are getting along, aren't you?
Like, why? Why do we need his face in the corner if we already have his face on screen? That doesn't make any fucking sense. And it's not like we can't see his facial expressions, because we clearly can. So, like, why do we need his fucking face in the corner? God fucking damn it.
Of course. I've waited a long time for a girl my own age to come along.
That's a little bit creepy. A little over 1 month ago, a new family wandered into our village. Like me, they fled from the Mirai Kingdom, fearing for their lives. Although they were difficult to accommodate at first, the family of 5 has since proven invaluable, providing much needed labor which Chio and I were previously doing ourselves. The mother of the family, another elderly woman, has been learning how to weave, and the father has been whittling down spare wood in order to make crude weaponry. More importantly, the 2 sons, Azai and Arakai, as 12 and 13 years old, have been helping me with any manual labor. Similarly, their older sister, Kana, quickly became friends with Chio and has been learning the layout of the forest, as well as which plants are edible and which are poisonous.
Speaking of Kana, do you feel she knows the forest well by now? I was thinking of sending the boys in there to search for lumber, so it would help if she escorted them while you continued gathering food.
Well, I guess.
Why do we need to have her fucking face in the corner if we can see her face on screen? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
Does that mean the 2 of us won't be taking any more trips through the forest?
Is it like so we know who's talking? Because they have voiced lines. We don't need to know who's talking because we can clearly hear who's talking. And there's a fucking text that says, "Oh, she's talking. Chio, that's Chio's dialogue." We don't need her fucking face in the corner. We don't need the main character's face in the corner either when he's talking because they're both on screen right now. Sorry.
You actually want to walk through the forest with me?
Oh my god, don't make it sound creepy.
When I first came here, the last thing you wanted was to be alone with me, especially in the forest.
Oh my god. Ew.
That was a long time ago.
Ew.
Your former allies killed my family, and you expected me to just go along with you? Of course I didn't want to go.
Yeah, when you put it like that, I can't really blame you. But I'm happy to hear that your mistrust is in the past. It really is easier to navigate through the forest with your help.
This is really...
Of course it is. You should know by now how reliable I am.
You and your one hand and disproportionate body parts.
But that still doesn't answer my question.
Right. Our walks through the forest. If you want to go with me that badly, I suppose we could put Kana on food gathering duty and have her brothers help her out.
It's not that I want to go with you or anything.
Okay, now you're acting like a tsundere.
I just thought it would be nice.
Chio hung her head and began to nibble on one of the berries in her bowl. Sigh. This daughter of mine really can't be honest with herself. Stop calling her your daughter! That's creepy! Even after all this time, she still feels the need to hide her feelings from me. 'Cause, you know, you're calling her your daughter. Perhaps 1 year isn't enough time for 2 people to become family after all. You're not a family! You're creepy. The next day. Oh god.
Whoa, this place is huge! Do you really come here every day, Nessan?
Nessan? Oh god.
Hey look! There's a path carved through the bush!
Their voices sound so much alike. They sound like a guy in his 20s trying to sound like some kid in his, like, tween-age years. You know, there are, like, 15-year-olds that sound like grown men. It's fucking creepy. Or, not creepy, but just fucking weird. Because, like, I go on VR chat, and, like, there's this fucking 15-year-old with this fucking deep-ass voice, and it's like, and he's like, I'm 15. It's like, what? No, you aren't! He's like, I am. What? Puberty hit you like a brick fucking wall, man.
Azai, I'll race you to the big tree over there.
This is typically why, like, in the voice acting industry, they have, like, older women voicing younger children because it, like, especially young boys, because they actually can sound like young boys instead of sounding like men trying to sound like young boys.
You're on!
Let's see. You're on! See, does that sound like a boy? Does that sound more like a young, like, boy than like this? You're on! Does that sound like it? Because I feel like it sounds a little bit more convincing.
Hey! Hold on a minute! Don't go running off on your own!
And now you sound like a boy, but you're a girl.
Jeez! I don't you two ever listen to me?
Shortly after entering the forest, Azai and Araki ran off. Their older sister Coniston gave chase, but proved no match for her energetic siblings and could only trail behind.
That didn't take long.
You know how those two are. They may listen to you intently, but their sister is another matter altogether.
I guess that's just how children are.
Yep.
Do you have any siblings, Ko?
Nope, they're all dead.
I know it's a bit late to be asking now, but you're always reluctant to talk about your past, so...
It's alright. It's just my old work that I don't like to talk about. And no, I don't have any siblings. But I did have a couple of childhood friends, and they both had siblings, so I know what it's like.
Sort of.
That must have been nice. As you already know, I was an only child, and there weren't any other kids around my age either.
What the fuck?
So even if Kana and her family had come along before our village was set alight, I'm sure we still would have wound up becoming friends. Though, I suppose it's for the best that they came afterwards, isn't it?
Yes, you're right.
If the Kihei family, I don't know how to fucking say this, I don't give a shit, family had fled the Mirai Kingdom before I did, their deaths would now be hanging over my head, just like so many others.
So what were your childhood friends like? Were they good people? Did you remain friends with them when you grew up?
Oh, my friends. It's a bit complicated.
Is that so?
Why are you talking like that?
Let me guess. One of them was a girl and the other was a boy?
You're right, but it's not what you think. Haru, she... A while after she found out what Ito and I had been doing for a living, she... took her own life.
Oh. I like how he only just has the sweat bubbles and not, like, tears in his eyes or anything.
I see.
Do you see? Do you see? Because, I mean, your body ain't working, so I don't think your eyes are working really well either.
I'm sorry, Ko. I didn't mean to.
It's fine. There's no way you could have known that.
Yep.
Yeah, but...
Chia looked up at me with sadness in her eyes. Oh yeah, that's sadness in her eyes? Does that look like sadness? I don't know. I wasn't sure if she felt sympathy, pity, or a sense of solidarity, given what had happened to her own family. But whichever feeling was behind that look, I couldn't stand seeing Chia look at me like that again.
Forget about it, alright?
Just forget about it.
Let's go find some lumber before the kids finish up doing their rounds.
Okay.
Just okay. Chia and I walked through the forest in relative silence. Oh my god, how long have I been recording? 13 minutes? We can record a little bit more. In the distance, we could hear rummaging in addition to the occasional gleeful shout or cry of annoyance.
You're never gonna catch me, Netchan!
Nya nya!
Oops, almost. You need to work on your leg strength, Netchan.
Hold still, you brats! Can you ever just listen to your sister? I'm trying to teach you something important!
Whatever. We're working men now. We leave the food gathering to the women.
Now that we're men. We have facial hair. Now that we're men. I changed my underwear. Oh, sorry.
Right. We fix the house, so you go get the food. That's how society works.
I hope I don't get copyrighted for that. Please, Viacom, please.
You brats! Fine! Run through some poison ivy for all I care.
Fun times. Do they even have poison ivy in Japan? Probably.
Good luck getting out of this forest on your own.
Bye, bitches! Yeah, you just leave. You just leave.
Netchan?
Oh, it's too late. Too late. Natural selection is taking its course.
Did Netchan just abandon us?
Yep. You fucking assholes. You deserve it. I tried to stifle my laughter as Chio and I listened in on the conversation being held between the Kihei siblings.
Those three sure do get along well.
No, they don't.
You can say that again. They're like that every day. Yet they always make up in the end.
Probably not this time. I'm tired of their bullshit.
Indeed. They're just like how we used to be. I try to help you or ask you a question, and you just brush me off.
Mm-hmm.
Well, excuse me for not trusting a complete stranger. Besides, you were far from perfect yourself. I told you time and time again not to follow me, and whenever you did, you wound up getting lost in the forest.
Hey, I was just looking out for you.
If you say so. At any rate, you seem to have learned your lesson, given that you asked me to be your guide.
Why wouldn't I? Nobody in Hotsu village knows this forest like you do.
Is it Hotsu or Hatsu?
So, Elder Spirit of the Forest, where do you think one might find lumber suitable for repairing houses?
Right this way, befuddled traveler.
Chio led the way deeper into the forest, taking me to an unfamiliar area. Although I didn't know the forest as well as Chio, I had spent enough time in there to know the area close to town. So if I didn't know where it was a safe bet that we were in pretty deep. I should really make an axe one of these days. That's not how you spell axe. Going this far to the forest just to search for fallen trees isn't practical, nor is carrying back wood over such a distance. The village is in decent shape now, and I have Azai and Araki to help me, so I should have time to fashion a few more tools. With ample wood lying around from the toils of the former villagers, not to mention the remains of several houses, securing lumber was never a high priority. My early days in Hotsu were spent utilizing the resources my predecessors had left behind, and using makeshift tools in place of anything more useful, like a hammer or an axe. That's not how you spell axe. But with a growing village, ongoing repairs, and the occasional newcomer, relying on existing resources was no longer an option.
Okay, this ought to do it.
Yep.
What do you think? Did I come through or what?
Chio stopped in front of a fallen tree which had been pierced by a large rock as it landed. It would still require brute strength to tear off anything worthwhile, but I need an axe. That's not how you spell axe to take away most of it, but it was quite fine nonetheless.
You sure did. As expected of my wonderful daughter.
Don't call her that.
You're never going to give this whole father-daughter thing a rest, are you?
That's really creepy, yeah, stop it.
Like I told you from the beginning, we're far too close in age to be parent and child.
That is true, and it's also really creepy!
Nobody in the village believes it anyway. Why do you even bother saying it?
Because he has a fucking kink for it! Chia stared at me with a serious expression on her face as though tired of the farce.
I know it's not believable. That isn't the point.
Well then what's the point? To get your dick hard?
Chio, what do you suppose the other villagers would think if we weren't parent and child?
Friends? Lovers? I mean, the whole father-daughter kink is like pretty common. So that's probably what they think you're doing anyways.
Exactly what they think of us now, right?
Are you sure about that? A young man and woman not related by blood living together, calling one another by their first names without honorifics.
Okay, now... Well, I mean, what's more creepy? That? Or the father-daughter thing? What's more creepy?
Do I really need to spell it out for you?
Probably. She's
I
pretty
still don't
stupid.
get it. You don't use honorifics with anyone, do you? And so what if we live together and aren't related by blood? That doesn't mean... Wait a minute. You don't mean...
Oh my god, you're fucking stupid. Chia's face suddenly dyed a bright red. Only 1 year away from being of age, Chio could easily pass for a young bride, especially if her husband was a renowned samurai. But after being on her own for so long and spending every day simply trying to survive, such frivolous thoughts never even entered Chio's mind. Are you sure?
You must be joking! Who would marry a worthless samurai like you?
Ouch.
Come now, there's no need to get defensive.
Who's being defensive? I'm just setting the facts straight.
Calm down, Chio. I have no intention of getting married again.
Again? Again?
Anyway, I hope that answers your question.
Wait, you got married before?
I guess.
Wait, you're not even saying anything about that?
Though, it still doesn't explain why we're father and daughter, and not siblings.
Wait, you're not even gonna ask not even gonna ask about that! Why am I the only one asking these questions? Why do these characters just brush that shit off? What the fuck? Because the sibling kink is pretty more creepy than the father-daughter kink, I guess. She's got me there. To be honest, when I first saw Chio in that storeroom, I could only think of her as a little girl. A child who needed protecting, far too young and weak to be my sister. But I was wrong, and now it's too late to change her story.
That's because we look so different, you know? When people point out our dissimilar appearances, I can say you take after your mother.
Oh god, you're fucking creepy.
Is that right?
You're fucking creepy.
Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's too late to change our story now anyway.
Ugh. Phew.
Now let's get moving. You get the boys to help you with the lumber, and I'll go look for Kana-chan.
Whatever you say, Chio.
Fucking creepy ass. 3 days later. 3 days later.
I think I've got it.
Okay, well, good for you, but I'm leaving this off here. So, with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this episode of Wonder No More and would like to see more of this game, then leave a like down below, leave a comment down below, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't, ring that notification bell, and remember, die safely. Bye-bye!